Big Board BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Board BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Board BBQ, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hi, folks. Welcome in to Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles, Paul Reichert. I am radio man Dan Diker, fresh off a double feature weekend at the Crosse Speedway. And we want to tell you the program, Billy Doc Niles, is brought to you by whom?
Big Board BBQ. And they got this big thing going on. If you're watching, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, get out there tomorrow. The 608 Piston Pounders Trophy Day is going on there. Registration starts at 10 o'clock. Show goes on from 11 to 4. 12 categories and 25 different trophies. Live music by that dude over there. They're going to have a 50-50 raffle, door prizes, and so much more going on. All kinds of cool cars. If you get out there this Sunday, shutting the whole block down there in front of Big Boar on Subway and at West Salem Tool and Die, all them there down that front row, shutting it down so you can get all these cool cars out there. Matt Henderson going to have both of his late models out there. Going to be a good time. Plus, we're taping next week's TV show this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Come on out and join us.
We'd encourage you to come out and be a part of the program. We're also brought to you by Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, Epic Media, and Vinyl Back 40 Wraps, and fansarena.com. To the La Crosse Speedway we go, and 2 20-lappers last weekend, and a couple of names jumped right off the page when it came to the activity going on the track, both of them versus, of course, Steve Carlson. Let's take it to late model feature number 1. Here's the last 2 laps of this one right here, and Billy Doc Niles. Well, Steve Carlson would run and get up towards the front and, well, pretty much win this race.
The car was just hooked up for this race. They weren't happy with qualifying, obviously, because neither him or Paninsky made the fast dash. Went and threw a whole bunch of changes at it and it made it work in the heat race. Tweaked it a little bit in that first feature. He said it was just on a rail. He loved the car, and you could see. He sliced his way through the field. And he was close to the front, near the front by the halfway point, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was just smooth sailing from there. Clements couldn't touch him, and Howland couldn't catch either one of them. But it's just a great race. It's not too often you get a car hooked up that well, and Steve had the perfect ride for this race.
Cole Howland, quick time qualifier, 6th time in 7 weeks. He ends up the podium finish and the top 3. It was Bobby Wilberg and Michael Beamish rounding out the top 5. To late model, NASCAR late model race number 2 we go, and this one had a whole different result towards the back end of this one. Let's roll the last 2 laps here, and to Paul Reichert, it was basically Steve Carlson versus who? Nick Clements.
Yeah, once again, Steve's car was a little tighter in this race, he felt, and took him a little longer to get up front, and then he got to Nick, and they had quite a battle for the last 2 laps to decide the victor.
And again, got to really tip your hats here. Nick Clements, a lot of rubbing and racing and all that kind of stuff could have happened in this one, but it didn't. And the 2 fantastic drivers going after one another for the last 2 laps there. Nick Paninsky takes 3rd. Justin Mulliken, career best 4th. And Mike Eady rounds out the top 5. And more importantly, Steve Carlson had a bad weekend last weekend. That helped Paninsky get back into the fold. Paninsky is now 43 points back. Could we have a unison ouch? Ouch. That one's really going to hurt as we head into Oktoberfest race weekend. To the sportsman we go. When was the last time, gentlemen, that anybody won 3 features in a row at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway driving a sportsman car?
Like we talked about on the radio show this week, I go back to probably one of the Steinhoff brothers. The old orange number 36. I think
it's Randy.
Randy, it could be, and I think he was the last one to win 3 in a row. And that's people get 2 in a row, but 3 in a row is unprecedented. But
Tom Leath is going to show the way around this one right here. But the leader you're going to watch around this one right here was the 97 of Chris Webber. That's until they get to the tech shed, and he got his, I think, second DQ of the year. Is that the second one?
Yeah, I think it is.
Second one. Tom Lethe finishes second. Tom Lethe, his third feature win in a row, and he has found himself actually nudging closer toward the point lead up there. I mean, not lead. Bachman still has that. Weber's still second, but Tom Lethe is doing a nice job of working his way up the field there, and congrats on 3 in a row. Adam Moore, Thunderstocks. Next topic, guys.
Yeah, it's short but sweet. He's starting the pole for the feature. I'm still wondering how he got there, and then he just checked out and led the whole race gate to wire.
I think they should make a rule, and I bet you Andy and Adam Moore would both agree. For every race in 2019 that you run, you must start in the back. I bet you they'd agree because they win from the back row.
You know, I kind of joked with you when I saw the start here, and I called you up. And I said, "Is he starting a lap down?"
Yeah. He'd take the challenge. Adam and Andy Moore like that, though. They would take that kind of a challenge just to see where they are with those cars. I did run into John Gallagher over the weekend last weekend after go-karts, and he said his car was hooked up. Somebody screwed with his car. Not going to name drop. He's not happy with it. Ever since that person was helping him try to put it back together, he's going to do it on his own from here on out. And Adam and Andy have told him, he goes, "You've got a car to beat out there at the Speedway," and he wants to get back to his winning ways.
That's more competition from the Moors would be great, but we still got a great point battle going on between Bolster and Mark Chalet. But man, them Bolsters, it's like watching Steve Carlson win every week in the late models. It's just, I'm sorry, not Bolsters, the Moors. It's just that good. They are just right on top of their game right now.
Last feature last weekend had the Ants Complete Pest Control Hornets going door to door, and we're going to show the last 2 laps of that one right here. Kendon Thurk had his car out there for the beginning of this, but working his way through the field. Jimmy Bjorkman, number 1. I couldn't believe he was passing 8-9 cars in the outside rail.
Yeah, he was just, his car is always good, and he was just running good, but then I think he had a flat tire.
Thought we had a flat. He went back to the pits, brought it back out, and just when that happened, Chris Thunderberg, former track champion, ends up working his way through the field. And you talk about a positive guy, Billy Doc Niles. I watch his Facebook every Hornet race day. He's the first one that's got a post out there, got a Snapchat out there. Doesn't matter if he gets wrecked the race before. Man, is that guy positive.
Yeah, it's the big smile on his face when he got out in Victory Lane. That's positive too. But what a cool move he made to go from the inside to the outside to have a shot at this win. If you watch the replay, he was kind of in a box with 4 cars under a blanket, and somehow he made a slicing move to the outside, got to the outside. I believe it was Thurk at the time, and just ended up passing him and going on for the win.
Now, Crosse Speedway are going to take action off this weekend. When you talk about local racing, they're going to be back on August 4th. NASCAR Late Model, Sportsman, Thunderstocks, Hornets. We're going to try to get our very first minivan race.
Minivans. Should I bring an umbrella that night?
And the world-famous Trailer Race of Destruction. That's going to be coming up on August 4th. You can, of course, find the entire schedule for the remainder of the year at lacrossespeedway.com. And because lacrosse is not racing Saturday night, Billy Doc Niles are going to bring you a very special Nights of Thunder for Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We'll tell you about more of that on the program. Coming up next, we're going to stay at the Crosse Speedway, and this is some interesting stuff right here. I really want to know why guys are laying on the front ends of Miatas down the front straightaway at the Crosse Speedway.
Can you tell us why, Paul?
I probably will.
We're going to tell you next, right here on 7 Rivers Racing.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
4 years in a row and counting. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Board BBQ. Once again, La Crosse County has voted us the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Making great ribs and great barbecue has always been my passion, and it means a great deal to me that you love what we do. If you haven't tried our ribs, pulled pork, brisket, or smoked chicken, try it and you'll agree. Big Board BBQ, a delicious mouthful.
Yeah!
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call today for your free estimate on a new American Standard system or schedule online at careyheating.com.
Welcome back, race fans. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Paul Reichert and Billy Doc Niles. I am radio man Dan Tiger. Kind of an interesting weekend last weekend, fellas, at the Crosse Speedway. Ended up doing street drags on Friday. Ended up doing go-karts on Wednesday and Sunday. Racing on Saturday night, but at the same time, while that's going on, the WCEC Car Show was going on at the La Crosse Fairground Speedway.
Was your mouth foaming again?
Our man Paul down. Oh man, there were some rides down there. Holy cow! And they are starting to bring out some older rides from the 40s and 50s. What a spectacular showing they had. A lot of different activities going on, and our man Paul was down there for quite a bit. And well, I tell you what, that was impressive.
Yeah, it was. I mean, actually, after I saw the video of last year's car show they had on their website, I thought I gotta check this out this year. So I went down there, and they had them lined up from turn 1, and we're starting to get them out in 3 and 4. They even had some on the quarter mile too. And
they had elite cars on the quarter mile. Elite status for those folks.
Elite cars.
Define elite.
Cars that you and I cannot afford.
That's elite.
Yeah, a few cars with big, massive wings on the back of them. I think there were a couple of them.
A couple of extra zeros after the original purchase point on those cars there. Paul was down there with his tablet and did a lot of videoing of the things that were going on. And the first video we're going to show you right now is a Pontiac G8, and this is really cool because every fair that I announce the go-karts, I can hear this car show going on. It was basically the past 4 years. And this car is up on a dyno. And who would think a Pontiac G8 would be on a dyno, number one? What would you do that for? But there's a lot of power under that hood. And Billy Doc Niles, I'm sure you have had a late model on a dyno in the past.
I'll be honest, I've only looked at dyno sheets. I've never, the engine builder usually takes them and dynos them himself. He don't want us looking.
Right.
But basically, you're looking for the torque numbers on this. What kind of torque you can get out of this. They're checking all the. It's tough to explain without actually sitting here and watching one. But it's basically telling you how much power you got in your engine, how much you can take on the top end, how much bottom end you got, and giving you all the numbers that tell you how far you can go before it goes boom.
Now, this one didn't go boom. It shut down, as you just saw there, quite nicely. So that was just one part of the WCEC Car Show. Now, Paul, they played a game called Car Limbo.
I want to see this.
Right? We've got a bunch of videos. Let's roll video number 1. And this is just going to show some of the cars going through, and we're going to have Jesse throw that up there for us. All right, so there's. I was right too, by the way. Miata's won.
Is that a school bus? What is going on here?
Well, they had an assisted and an unassisted division, and in the assisted division, you can have all sorts of people on the car, and as the bar got lower, they got on more people. So it was
to
crazy.
Lower the weight of the car. Or the inches of the car. So. This Beamer makes it through. Now, this is the assisted class. When I got to watch them, like, why are they? Get off my car, man! What are you doing hanging on my car?
And they can't. Their feet can't touch the ground, otherwise they're automatically disqualified.
Lowered to the ground. It took me half an hour to really fix.
Oh, this is on the trunk.
He hit him in the back. That was nice.
Yeah.
Is this unassisted here?
Yes.
Yeah, Beamer going through again. Now watch the pole here.
Yeah.
It's like, am I going to make it? No, get out. You're done. Look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like the round.
That could have been the winner.
Oh, Bondo Bob would love that.
Yeah, that was pretty tasty right there. And then look at this truck. This is a chopped down truck, and you can tell right there he ain't going to make it.
No.
And then you got a Miata, so they're weighing it down.
Yeah.
And there's more people as we get towards the end here.
Yeah.
Was that loud, Paul?
Yeah, it was loud, yeah.
Look at that long stream of people all the way down the wall, the long string of cars all the way down.
How many cars participated
Started
in this,
with
Paul?
20 and ended up down to 5 in the final round.
Is this a Miata right here that's going under?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And so is this. Now, look at this tongue. Doesn't it look like 2 eyes and an exhausted mouth? There's a tongue on there on purpose. Our producer, Jesse, never watched this last week. Jesse goes, does that look like a tongue? I'm like, look, it looks like his mouth is open, and we're going to show that red one here in a minute again.
Were they playing the Limbo song while this was going on?
No, unfortunately, they weren't.
I caught 6 people in that car that time.
Hey, I could just sit in the passenger seat.
And this is your winner in the unassisted division.
Ignore the license plate, by the way, there. Now, look, this looks like a mouth. There's a tongue, the mouth, and the eyes. That is simply fantastic.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's count them here, guys. 1, 2,
3 people on the hood.
4, maybe 5. Look at this.
Oh, look at this
guy
big
here is
dude.
Easy 250.
His butt barely makes it under.
And he's got about 4 or 5 hanging out the back end. So you came down to the blue and the red.
Yeah, look at this.
I want Billy in those shorts at Oktoberfest. The peach shorts. I want those Niles in those shorts at Fest.
That's just not funny.
Oh my gosh.
They have 3 in the front and at least 8 in the back. I thought you couldn't even get more than 3
Yeah, it
people
looks
to
like
be on it.
it looks like a game of Twister with all those people in the back of the car.
Then you got
Looks like a
the,
clown car.
And this one right here, this guy in the blue right here is like, yeah, load me up with a couple more cheeseburgers and I'll make sure you clear this thing. Simply phenomenal job on car limbo.
Oh my god.
And Paul was down there by himself, and that was really cool. During intermission at go-karts, I had a chance to go down and really take a look. Kyle Lockington was down there, had a really nice car, and I was really impressed on the whole setup.
So what were your impressions for your first car
I
show?
thought that was a great show. They even had some cars that were part of the River Valley Road Rally that the Wisconsin Cars
and then Gretchen Gaussman, who was on our show, she's a part of that River Valley group.
Okay.
It was pretty. It was just cool.
Did you see anything you want to take home?
There was a rally car participating in a Rally America Series event last year down in Missouri, and that came as I was going back to the front straight. I thought, oh, I gotta check it out, and that was the coolest car I think out there.
Nice.
Again, it's just check out WCEC on Facebook. Jesse's going to put it right down here in the bottom of the screen as well.
Probably already going across.
And very impressed. That whole group did a fantastic job of getting the cars out. They had food, they had a DJ, and a lot of people that didn't even have cars were just roaming through taking pictures.
Yeah.
So congratulations, and here's kudos to year number 5. When we come back, we're going to really break down the Chase Championship, the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, and let you know how many races, in fact, we do have left. I wish we had 13 weeks because we've had 13 total rainouts. Let's just line them up and just run them to like December. Billy Doc Niles, Paul Riker, myself will be right back after this.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Big Boar BBQ is up and running on the north side of La Crosse. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Boar BBQ. Yes, the food truck is open at George and Gillette Street to make it easier for you Northsiders to find out why La Crosse County has voted us 4 years in a row as the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Big Boar BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem, and now open at George and Gillette Street. A delicious mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Call today for your free estimate on a new American Standard system or schedule online at careyheating.com.
Welcome back one more time. Dan Deicher, Bill Doc Niles, Paul Reichert, part of the Seven Rivers Racing TV show. Again, just a reminder, we're going to be taping the show Sunday at Big Boar BBQ in West Salem, part of the 608 Piston Pounders huge car show. We're talking, this is a large show. I'll be DJing. They're going to be serving up food, barbecue, a lot of cars, trophies. We're going to tape the TV show up there as well at about 1 o'clock on Sunday, so we hope you come out and...
Matty Henderson will have his race cars there. Yep.
The double number 33s are going to be out there, so we hope you join us. Let's go to the point standings of La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. We're going to dedicate the entire segment to this. 2 weeks ago, Nick Padinsky looked like he may have a hard time tracking Steve Carlson down. Of course, everyone says you need to have a bad night. Steve has a bad night, gets a DQ, and Nick Padinsky's right back in the points. Last weekend, things kind of flip-flopped again. Can he make up a 43-point difference?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, we got 5 scheduled features left. Who knows if they're going to add more, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, he was...
But Steve Carlson does not have bad nights.
No, he's not been having... He is having what I'd like to say a national championship-type season this year. I mean, it's...
7 feature wins. He hasn't... He finished out of the top 3 once, and that was because of a DQ one night?
Yep, and otherwise he's been... I don't think he's been worse than first or second in the other features, so this is a national championship run right here.
Still the Chase Championship, you have, let's see, Steve Carlson's not because of that DQ. That's really odd to say. Nick Paninsky, Mike Carlson, Nick Clements, Michael Beamish, Cole Howland, Brent Kirshner, Mike Eady, Justin Mulliken, Tom Carlson, and Tony Bankstead.
I'm very impressed with Mulliken right now. I think, if you want to take an outside pick to make the Final Four, I think Mulliken would be a really good outside pick.
You heard that right here. Start getting your betting papers down right now.
No pressure, Justin.
To the Sportsman we go with Chris Webber getting DQ'd last weekend. Steve Bachman opened his point lead back up to 27, but again, Chris Webber's always fast. He really can't rest on his laurels yet, can he?
No. There's still time for things to happen, and who knows what could happen the rest of the way. Hopefully Bachman doesn't have another bad night.
In the Chase Championship is Steve Bachman, Chris Webber, Tom Lethe, who's won 3 features in a row, by the way, Sam Niles, Jeff Thompson, Mandy Eckelberg, Travis Gordon, Dan Secor, Jesse Green, and Brian Hesselberg. Brian Hesselberg will be eliminated because he's got to miss, I think, 2 more nights at the Speedway because of his job. Who's your outside sportsman that may be able to take this all the way to Fest?
Ooh, gosh. Oh, man. Let me see.
I'm going to take Tom Lethe as my outside shot because obviously you always want to look at the top 2. You've got Bachman and Webber. Even though Webber was DQ'd last week, and we're not sure if he got knocked out of the chase or not, though.
Yeah.
But I think Lethe would have my outside shot of being right there to the end.
I think Lethe is one of the solid ones to make it. If you're looking for an outside shot, look for somebody like Thompson. Thompson's got a pretty good shot. Niles has a pretty good shot. Look for someone like to sneak in, like maybe a Mandy Eckelberg or Travis Gordon. That would be a sweet story right there.
Out of a Thunder Stocks, Mark Chalet still clings to a 20-point lead over Jason Bolster. Then it's Grosskopf, Dobbs, Gallagher rounding on the top 5. Can Chalet hold on? I mean, this will be his first track championship ever.
Yep, it's still a pretty good battle. They got 4 features left. And just still 20 points is not a lot in that class. I mean, granted, they're only running 8 to 12 cars in a race, and them two seemed inseparable.
Yeah.
But Bolster's been chipping away at that lead. This could be a really good one coming down to Fest.
Morris can keep winning races. All Chalet's got to do is keep finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and keep Bolster behind him pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
For the Street Stocks, it's Matt Moore leading Chris Larson by 8. That was a flip-flop from last weekend because Chris Larson entered that night leading those points. Burbach, Hessig, and Rude run up the top 5. Matt Moore, he's done it at Toma, and he's done it at La Crosse. That Street Stock is hard to beat.
That's one of the faster ones around. I mean, he's dominating Toma. He's doing a really good job of finishing somewhere in the top, 1 or 2 when it comes to La Crosse. I think he's got, 2 features on the season already?
Yeah.
And Larson has been probably the most consistent guy. It's a Korish-esque season where he hasn't won a feature, but he's always finished somewhere near the top. So
always qualified fastest. I think John Aaron got him one night, but otherwise he's been at the top of the leaderboard.
He's always there at the end. He may not win it, but he's going to be somewhere in that top 3.
Ants Complete Pest Control Hornets. Now, I've seen this with 4 or 5 features to go. You've got 12, 13, 14 drivers, about 12 points away. We talk about that every year. This is a different story this year. Brandon Lemoyne has opened up a 27-point lead over Jimmy Bjorkman and 30 over Jake Chalmers, and time's ticking down for all the competitors.
Well, Jimmy Bjorkman looked like he was going to close that lead up at the beginning of the feature last week when he was just on a rail on the outside, cut a tire down, spent several laps in the pits. Meanwhile, Lemoyne, I love using this phrase, patience of a veteran, methodically worked his way through the field, taking 3rd place on the last lap and, opening up that point lead. And they only got, I believe they got 2 races left or 3 races left.
2 or 3 sounds about right, yeah.
Jimmy's going to need some really good luck, and he's going to need Brandon to fall flat one night for this one to be a close one.
Now, Brandon, with 2 feature wins this year, really worked his way through the field. I didn't think he was going to get anywhere close to a top 10 this past weekend.
I watched him mostly throughout that feature, between the front and the mid of the pack. And it didn't seem like he was going anywhere. And then with like 5 to go, it's like somebody flipped a switch and boom, all of a sudden he was passing cars, and he passed for 3rd place on the last lap.
You notice he just said the word mid-pack?
Yeah.
On our radio show, you heard Justin Berg on the radio show this week, and Justin Berg admitted to both of us as we taped him that he is the mid-pack legend of the Sportsman. Remember that?
I do. I do.
Did you feel honored that someone is taking your nickname another step higher?
If you're watching Thursday or Friday night, tune into our show on 1460 WBOG and hear what Justin has to say.
Again, I want to thank all of our sponsors, especially Big Board BBQ. They've got the title sponsor. Sunday, we're going to be out there taping the TV show at 1 o'clock. Come out. I may even share some burnt ends with you. I'm just kidding.
You're not. No, you're not.
Funny guy.
We're going to be taping the show. We're going to be playing some music, having a great time, and we encourage you to come on and watch how the program goes. And Paul will share his
burnt ends,
his pulled pork.
Hey, if you're watching Sunday night, in just a couple of minutes, Dan and I are going to be right back with the 18 best races from 2018 so far this year.
Thanks for joining us. That'll do it. Big Board BBQ presents Seven Rivers Racing here in KQEG TV.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Reichert. Brought to you by Big Board BBQ, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Board BBQ, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
4 years in a row and counting. Hi, this is Jerry Beyer at Big Board BBQ. Once again, La Crosse County has voted us the best barbecue and best caterer in La Crosse County. Making great ribs and great barbecue has always been my passion, and it means a great deal to me that you love what we do. If you haven't tried our ribs, pulled pork, brisket, or smoked chicken, try it and you'll agree. Big Board BBQ, a delicious mouthful.
Yeah.